So here it is. It's week 10. The New York Jets have a bye week this week. That's a fact. But what's crazy is you know what? I'm not going to say upset because because my disbelief and my lack of belief in my team to go ahead and get the win against Buffalo does not mean this is an upset. The Jets beat the Buffalo Bills at home 20-17. I'm not going to take away from that. It wasn't an upset. It was a win. Jets beat. But now, after having celebrated Victory Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, let's be honest, we've been celebrating the entire week as an organization. 6-3 going into our bye week. The thing is, I don't think we have to settle for not celebrating Victory Monday yet again next week. So we're in week 10. I'm going to tell you how the New York Jets are going to be celebrating Victory Monday this coming Monday. Let's go.
I can do it all, I will never fall. If the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. If the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother. Hey.
And here we all right. So what am I talking about? Jets aren't playing this week. How is it possible that we get to celebrate you know what I'm saying, like a victory Monday? You know what I'm saying? Like there's no game for the Jets on Sunday. But I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how. The New York Jets right now currently sit 6-3. We're tied with the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins in our division. And both the Bills and both the Bills and the Dolphins are playing the game this weekend. The Bills are facing off against the Minnesota Vikings. The Dolphins against the Cleveland Browns. So, when I say we can celebrate Victory Monday this coming Monday, what am I talking about exactly? I'm talking about the fact that both of those guys are going to lose this weekend. This Sunday, I am predicting a loss for both the Buffalo Bills and for the Miami Dolphins. Oh, hold on, wait. This isn't me being a homer coming at you guys saying these guys suck. I actually think the Miami Dolphins are a very good team on offense. I think the Buffalo Bills are one of the better teams in the NFL. I think that team, when healthy across the board, is going to produce the most challenging route, you know what I'm saying, to the Super Bowl in the AFC. But I'm telling you that this weekend, this Sunday, they're going to lose. Let me explain. First, Buffalo Bills versus the Minnesota Vikings. So the Minnesota Vikings right now are balling out. They're putting, I think they're 7-1. You've got, you're getting numbers from every component of the offense. Kirk Cousins right now is about at 2,000 yards for a quarterback, 65% completion. He's got freaking 13 TDs, just 6 interceptions. You've got a guy like Dalvin Cook with 608 yards on the season, with a 4.6 yard per average. With, of course, himself, he's got 5 touchdowns rushing. And then they got Justin Jefferson, 867 yards. And I want to say he's got, 3 touchdowns this season. Now, the biggest component to why I think the Jets were able to be successful against the Buffalo Bills is because they are top heavy. They're top heavy. They don't have a lot of depth in terms of being able to overcome injuries. With that said, Poyer is out again. Poyer is the heart and soul of that defense. I think with him being out, Poyer and Milano. And I think with him being out, that's going to create an opportunity for those guys to go ahead and take advantage over the top. And this is where I believe you're going to go ahead and see the Minnesota Vikings taking advantage. Now, granted, Milano is going to be playing this weekend. So on Sunday, he'll be playing, even though Poyer is out. I still don't think it's enough in terms of making the decision of what are you going to focus on. Do you focus on stopping Dalvin Cook? Do you focus on stopping Justin Jefferson? Kirk Cousins, right now, that 1 o'clock game, that man is damn near elite. He plays at another level when he's not playing in primetime games. As such, I think that 1 o'clock game is going to give the Minnesota Vikings an advantage. I also believe Josh Allen's going to be playing this game. Josh Allen right now is not look good the last couple of weeks. As such, he's also battling an injury. That to me could be the tilting aspect, the tilting favor towards the Minnesota Vikings. If Josh Allen plays hampered, he's not playing at 100%. That's a concern. And granted, I guess you would rather have Josh Allen than Case Keenum. Can't argue that. But nonetheless, the Minnesota Vikings in this situation have the advantage. And I think the Buffalo Bills are going to catch their second consecutive loss of the season against the Minnesota Vikings to the tune of 21-16. That's how that game ends. Buffalo Bills lose. Minnesota Vikings win. They go to 8-1, continue on their stretch of victories. So that's one down. Bills have lost. Now, in order for us to truly celebrate and have a victory Monday, we would need our counterpart in the Miami Dolphins to lose as well. How does that happen? Well, let me tell you, the Miami Dolphins, surprisingly enough, have shocked a lot of us. Coach McDaniel has earned the respect of many. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua has done what they needed to do in order to keep that offense relevant, to get them going early and often. The problem is this. The Miami Dolphins are in the top 10 in the NFL within first half scoring. Top 10. That offense is elite. They do things. They're able to get points on the board quickly. They're able to go ahead and look like they are an elite offense all in the first half of an NFL game. However, in the second half, they are bottom 10. In fact, minus the Baltimore Ravens game, in which they had, I think it's 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, they've had only one other fourth quarter game where they've scored a touchdown. They've had 6 games where they've scored 0 in the fourth quarter. A drastic decline in performance from the Miami Dolphins in the fourth quarter. So why am I bringing this to your attention? Why do I feel this is going to be an impactful aspect for the Cleveland Browns? Cleveland Browns is a pretty good defense. They're dare I say, an elite defense. That defensive line is terrifying. Myles Garrett is terrifying. And Jadeveon Clowney is terrifying. They're able to go ahead and stop the run in the interior. It's a really good defensive line. I think they're going to get into the backfield and disrupt what I believe to be a timing-based offense. I think a lot of what the Miami Dolphins are doing, as impressive as it's been with Tua, Waddle, Hill, is the mastermind genius of McDaniel understanding the weapons he's got, limitations and strengths, and maximizing their strengths. Tua, being a very precise and accurate quarterback, I think once you take him off his mark and make him have to improvise, you're going to see a different level of performance. We saw it a little bit against the Steelers, where he made some throws that were very, very questionable as to why he would make those throws. I don't think they faced a defensive line other than us, but again, Tua wasn't playing. So apparently that would have been a big difference in that game's outcome. We're about to find out this Sunday. I believe the toughest matchup they're going to have thus far this season in terms of, Tua this season, in terms of a defensive line, is going up against these Cleveland Browns. And although the Jets can do it across, the entire line up front, the Browns aren't too far behind in terms of creating pressure. I think Myles Garrett and I think that Jadeveon Clowney combined are going to make the day very uncomfortable for Tua. And I think if you can disrupt that timing of that offense, you're going to see them go from being elite to good, maybe average. And then we go to the offense of the Cleveland Browns. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you it's Jacoby Brissett. He's not even the starter. Jacoby Brissett has been playing pretty good football this year. Like, a lot of people probably aren't tracking it just because of his name, but Jacoby Brissett right now has 1,862 yards with a 7.3 average. So he's not just freaking just chunking. It's a 7.3 average, which is top 10 in the NFL right now in terms of every throw, yards per average for what he throws. And he's got 7 touchdowns to 55 to 5 interceptions. Throwing a very respectable 63.9% completion rating. Jacoby Brissett is not a scrub. I think there's a misconception that Jacoby Brissett wouldn't start on quite a few teams actually in the NFL. He would. And this is a guy who understands he's only got a couple more games to add to his resume before you get Deshaun Watson back. And he's looking to potentially be the face of a franchise still. You know what I'm saying? You've seen it happen towards the latter years of most individual NFL players. And I think this might be a statement game for him. With him and Amari Cooper, which I think is highly underrated. Amari Cooper right now is at 553 yards receiving. If I'm not mistaken, he's got um, 2 touchdowns. Maybe it's 1 touchdown. I'd have to go back and take a look. But he's not getting a lot of respect in terms of what he brings to the table. I'm sorry. Here it is. The Amari Cooper has 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. 553 yards. He's averaging 70 yards per game. No fumbles. Like yards after the catch, 117. That Miami Dolphins defense is paper thin. They have not shown to be a defense that's scary. And I know a lot of Dolphins fans are going to tell you that, oh, well, they've got a great rushing defense. Not necessarily. The majority of offensive have not seen the point in running the ball against these guys because they can't stop you through the air, right? Why limit yourself to running the ball when you can throw the ball on these guys, knowing just how impactful the offense can be when the timing is good, Tua can get the ball out. You got Hill and Waddle with that Olympic speed that can go ahead and become a backbreaker. So I think Amari Cooper is going to have a hell of a game on Sunday. But I also think that Nick Chubb is going to have a hell of a game on Sunday. We're going to see truly, we're going to test this team truly in terms of what this rushing game can do. But let's just say that they're really good at actually stopping the run, where they're going to be in any capacity, in my opinion, vulnerable is if you go ahead and become an extension of the running game. A couple of wheel routes outside of the backfield, a couple of screen passes, and I don't see many individuals on that defensive side of the Dolphins being able to keep up with Nick Chubb. That 1-2 punch of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt is going to be a lot to ask for. I believe that the Cleveland Browns are going to be able to play effectively enough on defense. They also get Denzel Ward back, which is a very big contributor to trying to limit one of those two elite wide receivers in Waddle and in Hill, and disrupting the timing of the plays that is this system McDaniel has put in play that knows that Tua is an accurate and precise quarterback, and given the time to throw, that timing aspect of the throw, he can go ahead and make some incredible throws. A lot of you guys think Tua's arm strength just got, elevated over the years, over the last this year, apparently. It's not the case. Tua's arm strength is still Tua's arm strength. The way he's getting these gone completions now is because finally there's a coach who understands his limitations and his strengths, and they're adding precision and timing to his deep throws. If you watch a lot of Tua's tape, he throws the ball way before his receiver's supposed to get open. But the internal clock is allowing him to launch the ball further because you got guys like Tua and Waddle that can chase it. So it is what it is. I know there's going to be an argument to be made that, oh, well, you're just a Tua hater. There is nothing wrong with having a quarterback that can go ahead and excel in a system that the offensive coordinator / coach thinks he fits in. Obviously, at 6-3, Tua is being talked as an MVP candidate. Like, that's a very real thing. However, I think this is the week Tua actually gets to deal with disruption. He gets his timing disrupted, and I think that's going to be what allows us to see what Tua can potentially truly be about. Now, if somehow Tua does beat the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to be lost for words because I really now am worried about our game plan as a Jets organization as to what we can do to him when we play in week 18. I digress. I do believe that the Cleveland Browns are going to win this game on Sunday, purely based off of that defensive line being able to get to Tua, disrupting his timing on these timed routes in this offense. We already know they got to start off hot because in the second half, they start to dwindle. If they can go ahead and disrupt that early and often, I see the Cleveland Browns getting a win. Now, that happens. That means we've got a 6-4 Buffalo Bills, a 6-4 Miami Dolphins. The New York Jets have beaten both of these individuals, and we would be 6-3. Ladies and gentlemen, we're waking up on Monday, and we're having another Victory Monday. I mean, I don't know how you can't be excited about that. Like, to me, the thought of it happening, so much so that I bet on this game. I legitimately bet on this game. I did a parlay bet that this was going to happen this weekend. On top of that, I added that we're going to beat the Patriots next week. But y'all know how the game works. That video is going to come next week. This parlay bet is going to be not just for this weekend, but also next weekend as well. Put it all together. I believe the New York Jets, when it's all said and done, are going to be 7-3 going into Week 11, and that to me is extremely exciting. With sole possession of first in the AFC East. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, what about like the AFC in general? Like, I didn't do all of that research. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're going to be able to be better than Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. I think that they're most likely going to be the number one team in the AFC. But nonetheless, New York Jets, by weekend's end, are going to be AFC East, not champions, but like in the lead of the AFC East. And I think it's going to be our position to lose moving forward for the rest of the season. And that's a wonderful position to be in, especially with this young nucleus, this young core, this young team. And the only question mark we really have right now is if Zach Wilson is the guy. Can he catch up with the level of growth that the rest of the team has proven to us, has shown to us? And if Zach Wilson can do that, man, the conversation turns from, making the playoffs to dynasties, what dynasties can look like. And that's a very exciting place to be in. So, with that said, I'm predicting both the Dolphins and the Bills lose this weekend. The Dolphins are going to lose by one score. It's not going to be a blowout. The Dolphins is a talented team on offense, and I do believe they're going to find ways to score, regardless. I do believe that the explosion that they've had gets limited by the defensive line of the Cleveland Browns, and I believe their offense is going to have the edge against the Dolphins' defense. So there it is. Jets wake up Monday morning in the lead of the AFC East. Victory Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way until we play the Patriots next Sunday. Man, what a time to be alive. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel. I need to get to 1,000 on this channel. I got a really big giveaway coming once that happens. As always, go Jets.